Good evening, good people, and welcome to another presentation of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Fall League. I am Saracen, joined in the booth tonight by Sir Lancelot and Shumbabi. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
It is another fabulous night of FFR. That counts for a lot some days.
It
Happy
does.
Friday.
I wasn't even expecting to be around for this, and then all of a sudden comms opened up. I figured, why not? We got some great people in the booth here. We've got some great runners tonight. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
So, for folks who are not familiar with the Fall League, we have teams of 4 racers. 14 teams this league, which I think is the biggest we've ever had, right? And each week is a different flag set. So we are still in the week 1 flag set. This is Free Enterprise, which will have our runners going all over the place with no random encounters, a free airship at the start, really based off of that FF4 Free Enterprise rando. You know, give the homage since we have the ability to do so. And we're going to see some interesting tactics, I think. Link, you want to talk a little bit about what we're seeing as our initial layout here?
Yeah, so I mean, we've got the 2 Force Party members, which, actually pretty kind to start with. You get your Red Mage and your Black Mage, so we're going to kind of see how spells roll out, because that might kind of change how you decide what you want to do with your mages. If you want to maybe go 2-man, 3-man, what you are going to kind of do is your strategy as the seed progresses. But having that, potential white caster as well as, 2 black casters can kind of make it quite easy to get yourself started, because that can be kind of the difficulty of these seeds sometimes, is how do you start?
Yeah, Shum, do you want to talk a little bit about the start tactics that we've seen across the various nights here and different practice runs?
I, unfortunately, have not seen too many people's strategies outside of my own team, which I know is to pretty much grab as many items as possible before we start grinding. I imagine we're going to see a couple of runners that make a beeline towards Garland just to get those 2 easy checks with the King and Sarah. Maybe we get an NPC, maybe we get a key item that really directs them where to go. Some of them may find that level 1 magic is lacking and go to Provoca for a really quick level 2 check and some pirates. I think that what we can expect is the unexpected, because there should be the opportunity for a lot of divergence in this flag set.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. I have a very set path for this flag set that I learned from one of my teammates as well, and I know that the hard part that I think a lot of people have had is what happens if you don't have a mage, you don't have a caster item at the start that's worthwhile, or that sort of thing. So, we're starting out with a Fire 3 hammer, it looks like, which is fantastic. Our white magic includes a red learnable fade. And we've got Brack and Ice 2 in the black magic first level. So this is looking like a really nice start. Bottle at the bottom of Marsh Cave was a hint there from Velik's screen.
Now, does that mean that it can appear in either the locked room or the crown chest, or is that a specific hint for one of those?
I believe it's either.
Yeah, I want to say it's either, because I've not actually checked that when I get that hint, because usually I get that hint and I've already been there, so, and I'm not even paying attention anymore.
One thing that I'm noticing here is that housing is a little expensive for the early game. That's one of the things that I value early on, because we do have a limited number of Monster in a Box chests, and those can be really helpful early game, but you kind of want a tent before you go into any of the places that might have those. So, I'm typically a run to Cardia start, and there's, 13 chests among the 3 islands. It's real easy to find a Monster in a Box there, and with level 1 fade, it's pretty easy to get that. Getting a crown, and was that a stun caster item? Yeah, that's the replacement defense sword.
Yep.
Very intrigued that all 4 runners decided to go to Garland first. This wasn't at least the strategy that I've been discussing with people, honestly. I thought we'd see 1 or 2 runners on stream do it. because I've seen a lot of rushing straight over to Sarda to Crescent and then dipping down to Cardia or even going up to Provoca based on which spells you rolled. So you get a couple of key items, and before you're taking the Pirates or before you're taking Garland, you're getting that little bit of extra XP boost, which is really going to set you a little bit ahead every time you do that trapped chest check. And so every runner here seems to be taking a much smaller snowball approach.
So we actually are seeing one of those trap chests, and it's just the some red hydras.
The red hydras are worth a lot of experience if you can live through the fight, but we are seeing exactly that problem there. Living through that fight can be real tricky when you're still low level, and if they get the turn order on you.
We have Velik finding the rod from Sarda. That's going to be really useful for the Earth Cave dive. You don't want to have to go back in there twice.
Phoenix finding the herb and another trap chest with the Karib pack, which also is going to bounce him. Loot off of Bicky.
Quite a few of the items we need for go mode already at that point, because with the floater and the canoe right from the start, you really only need key, loot, rod, oxale, chime, and cube. So a lot of those other ones are just kind of, they're there. They might just lead to a dead end or one of those items, but having two of them immediately when your first couple checks always feels good. Getting that check on level 2 magic, we have Exit, which is lovely to have because you can get out of those dives on some of those dungeons and then fast as well.
We're seeing that Underhill, the desert merchant, is not rocking the item this time around, but we did see that the houses themselves are also quite expensive at about 2,600 a pop. So all of the housing options pretty expensive, but it looked like there was a fair amount of gold coming out of Cardia. So I think that that's going to be a small hurdle at best.
Even just Temple of Fiends had about almost 10,000 on its own. So yeah, they've got actually a good kind of chunk of cash there to go buy spells, do everything like that. And we find the Rune Town. Melman's not always ruined in these flag sets. It looks like the vampire decided it wanted to attack Crescent Lake instead. Thankfully, we left the sages behind though.
Getting the ruby off of the Circle of Sages here. One thing is always a little tricky is double checking to make sure that none of those sages were actually replaced with one of our pickup classes. So we see Dengwu, having turned in the herb, has found a white mage hanging out there. So I thought.
So that is our second party member linked to an NPC. This is going pretty quickly, and we're exhausting our melee opportunities here.
Level 3 nuke and warp. That's some big finds there.
Level 3 white magic, not as great. You've got heal too, which is nice, but there's a lot better white magic that we still would rather see. But yeah, those red mages are looking rather nice with both fade and nuke at low levels.
And it appears that wall is also learnable, so that even if you only find the one incentivized ribbon, we're in good shape here.
Pepper and Lock at level 4. I'm not a big fan of those sharing a level.
No, but if we do wind up with a thief as the only melee, and we can turn it into a ninja, we do know that we now have Temper Fast and Lock, all ninja learnable.
It kind of feels like we're losing reasoning for actually having a black mage right now. Like, if you find a red mage, just replace the black mage, because like all the important black magic spells we pretty much have at this point. So
I would say that my caution on that is we are rapidly hitting the point where you don't really want to replace one of your mages with another type of mage, just because you'll have to go and buy all those spells again. The amount of time that it takes to shop is really significant. And especially since we've seen some of these seeds in practice go as fast as 35 minutes. I don't want to spend another, spare minute in Elfland to shop a second time.
So I'm curious if this level 3 warp incentivizes the early ice cave check. or if people are, or an early ordeals even, or if people are just going to continue with the routing that they kind of had in mind, and they're going to use warp as this kind of maybe a little bonus for the getting out of the dwarf cave, for example.
I am not a huge fan of the ordeals check, just because of how long it takes to walk there from where you have to land the airship. We are seeing lazy dwarves into an XCal -2. Very, very sad swords coming out of the canal area.
Yeah, it was actually a bunch of key items, but it's kind of a long check because that adamant came from the ruby turning that was down in Titan's tunnel. So you get those key items, but you did waste some time doing that.
So noticing on Velik's stream again that we have Astos knocking down that red mage. That black mage is already level 11. It's becoming a very quick candidate for a replacement with a melee if we should find one. Because the other downside, obviously, if not shopping for spells, is going to be the fact that we have to level up our additional party members unless we replace one that has already been leveled.
So we have at this moment all of our runners sort of retreading each other's ground, which kind of the first 10 minutes is super chaotic and everybody then sort of falls into the same lineup. So I just want to quick run through the list of other runners, our off-stream people. We've got Budgemano, Chadbert, Dead Pulse, Demon Frog, Demon RHK, Dr. Rosalia, Ganon's Gone Wild, Nightmare Phoenix, Spellzap, Tetron, and that rounds out our list. So those are the other 10 runners that are racing tonight on this seed.
So Phoenix going to give us a glimpse of the Hall of Giants trap tiles. Scorpion Mancat, this Randomizer is very odd sometimes with
Stun
what they
touch.
put together.
What is this
Very far.
stun touch nonsense?
On the Scorpion with 3 hits as well, so chances are with this kind of level, you're probably getting stunned if that Scorpion swings.
And sea snakes as a pack. That's
Not the worst, but certainly
see
not
what they
staying
have.
here longer than charges.
yeah. We'll see what they have at least.
Well, they have like high 200s to low 300s health. Alright, so we do have the Ice Cave check with the warp. Not
Phoenix
concerned
29
about
with
trap
that.
tiles.
Phoenix 29 having that brief moment of, oh, I'm out of nuke charges. Uh-oh. And having to decide on that Fire 3 hammer at the last second there.
So
Always
the
one of the
hammer turns
challenges.
into a Fire 3 hammer, actually, as we just found an ice, so that's not going to be a necessary check for any of our runners.
Looks like we are getting the spike tiles, or at least one of the spike tile checks, which first one just our gargoyles, which is worth 5,000, but the poison touch and the fact that there were 6 of them takes time, and then Catman for the next one.
I kind of want to get like a Scatman John clip every time you get a spike tile with Catman. It's some Catman. Skibidi-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, we're gonna have the death by 1,000 cuts with these crawls and stun touch.
Ew.
Almost got out of it.
Motion denied, as it were.
I'm not sure that we should be checking more trap tiles there. There's certainly progression to be had.
Yeah, there's only the one spike tile that Velik didn't check, which was the one in the double chest room. on the Basement of Ice, but other than that checked in, yeah, they weren't that great. I mean, our gargoyles were nice, but
It's nice if we warp out of there and save those levels, but not worth going back in for them.
Definitely not.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard somebody refer to Argoyles as being nice.
Might be the only time you ever hear it.
Right?
I mean, they weren't swinging for a lot. They died right away. It was 5,000 experience. If you get good turn order, it's not terrible. We find out the key is locked behind the Oxtail with the hint in Melman.
That is the opposite of the normal experience, I think. When we have the random incentive locations on, I'm much more used to the meaner version of that. Oh, Dengu finding a pair of mud goals in a chest here. That's a thing that exists. So I really do like Dengu going after this Earth play, because you can get an early character swap if there's something you want there. With our alternate fiends, sure, it's not the usual speed bump lich, but even with the scaling, I think that with Nuke and Fade together, you can probably handle that.
Yeah, unless for some reason potentially that, whatever's replacing Lich just does roll something extremely scary, we should see an Orb Light.
My experience with the alt fiends is that their spells and scripts be so bad, but if you get a punchy one, that's misery.
So we did find an actual R Hydra tile. The issue with that was, and kind of saw, and we got a ribbon off of that, so definitely a nice check. But the issue kind of saw, because it was the same thing on that treasure box, is look like they like to ambush. So if you do end up trying to take that as a grind, potentially, you're wasting time, because they're going to get around on you every single time, it looked like.
Phoenix actually making the run faster down to our Earth Orb.
Looks like a thief behind Lich, or Odin, as it were.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And Odin wants to start with the swing.
Very high rolls on the fades and the nukes.
Yeah.
And terminated. That is going to be our first on-stream orb, it looks like, coming out of Phoenix 29.
Definitely taking the thief. I'm not sure I don't replace the black mage here. Just get the levels on it and turn him into a ninja ASAP. Ooh, that black mage strength though.
I would think, like, if you had the tail already, that might be the worry, is you kind of have to prevent fighting at this point until you find the tail, and the tail might, be somewhere that you don't like. So I guess I don't really blame him for keeping the thief and keeping your black mage, because with 2 nuke casters, you're probably going to be able to kill anything that you find as far as a trap and get some fast levels anyways.
Right. I certainly don't put blame on it in that case. The only contention I would have is that I think even in the worst possible placement for the tail, you know where to find it, right? This flag set is very forgiving. Everything is trapped behind a vanilla chest. So you're pretty much just saying, you know what, it's worth the 45 seconds to a minute for me to walk there.
We have a replacement with a black belt coming in off of our good friend, the slab translating doctor. So, yeah, I don't know about that thief anymore.
Yeah, the thief is gone. It turned into the black belt instead. It was a very short-lived thief. That one that maybe more would have been looking towards getting that, changing that black mage up and getting those levels right on the black belt.
I agree. I would have absolutely ditched the black mage for the black belt.
And I guess the biggest reason why I feel like that too is just the red mage, with all of the spells the red mage currently has right now, that black mage is just, it's kind of there. Like, can do it. It has good spells, but the red mage has better spells. And your idea at this point, if you're bringing a black belt, is get black belt to 32, 30, or in the mid 30s to where you can take the 2 War Mechs, get it to 42, and then cast punch on everything at that point. So kind of the idea: the faster you have that happen, the faster you get to the end of the seed.
Well, nobody's saying that got to keep this whole party alive during the grind, and if you can grab a couple levels on the mages, you got somebody that might be able to withstand some of the elemental spells from the Fiend free fights, and just get that fast off maybe, if with turn order, just getting the party member casting it. I'm not opposed to taking the full party, as I was saying before the game with you all in the channel. I think I might have played this very differently, seeing all the possibilities now that exist, than just saying, you know what, grab a black belt, take it to 42, and solo this.
Z-Man in chat saying that Deng didn't translate the slab. That could be a big oof.
I can't say, I saw him do it, but considering he's running the Thief, I guess we're about to find out if we're going to get looped or not, but I trust chat. We are definitely getting...
There's the Lupa. And the frustrated flailing. Plus side, he hadn't saved since he was at Melmond.
I would love to see him get distracted by the shinies in the armor shop and forget to translate again. I don't think it's going to happen.
He did see the black belt, so I think that was a little bit more of the, I see a shiny black belt, it's time to get rid of this thief that I had, and yeah, I have level 15 black belt now. Hi, how are you?
We find Argoyles again on the crown tile, a smaller set of them, but still just as friendly.
Phoenix now heading into ice to find all of the lovely things that are in ice, which is to say,
Yeah, and she's bringing up a good point. The minus 15 vitality on the black belt, that is going to kind of hurt that end health pool to where you might not be able to just have that idea, I'm just going to hold down my black belt and kill everything.
So we see that the Lefanians are a necessary check here with the cube.
So then we are just missing Oxea and Chime to be in no mode.
I don't believe that Dangwu went to Marsh for that bottle yet.
No, at least our trackers are showing that he does not have the bottle. Which we do appreciate the work they do, because when you're doing commentary, it is difficult to try to keep an eye on 4 different screens to tell what's going on, and they're making sure that we still have to pay attention, but we can glance at their trackers and see it's like, oh, okay, this is the items they have. So,
wow, those mud goals rolled really low. A 101 nuke took him out. That's a great tile to get an early grind on. I don't know that I stay here way too long, especially without the experience scaling that you want for a black belt grind, but certainly gonna get Phoenix going a bit faster.
Seeing how hard they hit for and the fact that there's 3 of them, I kind of agree with that, because it's kind of iffy. But yeah, if they weren't hitting very hard, I mean, even if they're getting a couple rounds, yeah, we saw a crit for 215 and 76 right there. They were giving I believe the whole party. Yeah, they were giving the whole party in the 3,000s, and now it's 4,000s for the 2 of them. So that would be over 8,000 per fight. That's going to level the black belt up quickly if it can survive. That's the issue. And then getting out, as well as you do have to go through the Catman tile.
I think the Catman tile is not so much of a concern. Hidden Velik checking the Hint Giver to find out that Sarda has the rod, which we already knew. Thank you so much, Lefanish Hint Giver.
I like that trap chest. 4 nightmares. If you can get out, except they have glance. That makes them not so nice anymore.
All I see in that glance is experience hitting the proper party members.
Yeah, 6,000 of them at that, so you are not going to complain.
Metagloria mentioning in chat that Spellzap off-stream racing has a 40 black belt already, so twice as many levels as Minutes in the Seed, just about. That's a thing right there.
Ding Wu showing us that you can't talk to the space in front of the throne. Very kind of him.
I appreciate the flavor text of the Black Mage in front of Astos, who will attest that this is the real king of Northwest Castle.
See Dangwu, it looks like he might be stopping for his grind on these R-Hydras.
Well, that opal bracelet he just found is going to make this a certainly much more viable grind. But the ambush is still not fun.
Yeah, it does definitely make these Torier not as nice, but I mean, still for the experience, if there's 3 of them and that red mage is down, that is over 8,000 experience.
Bellic taking a Mage Paralisk tile in the volcano. That's an interesting tile. It's one of the things that Randomizer. Well, I wouldn't say that it's bad, right? It's not great, but I mean, at least with the nuke casters, and you know, if we had an ice casting item, it'd be a lot better than if we had the Fire 3 hammer. But you know, such is life. Though the Fire 3 hammer seems to be doing the job against these Paralisks, which is kind of surprising.
I think the nice thing that happened in Phoenix is just checking that trap chest and ended up being 2 gas dragons, and they killed that red mage, so that black belt got a nice hefty 16,000 experience, right where you want it.
Bing Wu doing the full circuit to the floater trap chest. I'm curious, I suppose he didn't pick up warp.
There is the possibility.
Did we happen to catch anything meaningful from Matoya?
I believe it was a Vorpal.
Yes, it was a Vorpal blade.
Our trackers indicate that it was vanilla.
Actually, since we've checked... Actually, it's been a while since we found kind of one of those needed key items we were looking for, as we're still looking for that chime and the oxale. But I believe this is our first look at Deep Volcano, so we are going to see something new at the very least.
Erebus, potentially an interesting grind as well. They are I would say generally a mid grind. They're not great, but they tend to not be problematic as enemies in terms of like hit point pool.
And the black belts are already taking them down in one round, so yeah.
Gold -4, pro ring +3 in the armor shop that JLo is in right now.
Think we might have found our grind.
And an Oxyale.
And an Oxale, but is single zombie dragon?
Sold.
Yeah, like I'm sure you know there's the possibility you could find a better grind still potentially, but it's that idea that how much time, like one, you're in Deep Volcano, so to get back here, it does take you some time to even do that. The other thing is there might not be a better grind, so it's just like you find this grind, it's, you know, you're getting, you know, when the red mage goes down, you're going to be getting, you know, just over 5,000 a fight. It's one of those, it's a good enough grind to where you could, you know, take those fights. Maybe not take it all the way to 42 if you're hoping to go to 42, but, you know, that like 34, 35 to where you take a couple war mechs to get 42 if you want to go to 42.
Yeah, I have made no secret of the fact that I love the Temple of Fiends Revisited Warmech. If I think I can keep a warp or an exit caster alive to steal that experience. More so than the Masa, I like the experience on it. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to taking the Black Belt to like 37, and we have a required Warmech that we're going to be fighting in Sky. We have the potential of that optional one, plus we have the potential of a third Warmech in a random chest with a Masa in it out in the world. So there's the potential of 2 Masas in this seed. So, you know, that's 3 Warmechs that you can use for experience, and those are worth a lot. We have Fast, we have Temper, we have Lock, we have a Black Belt. We should be able to take those for experience.
So we do have a question in chat from Adam Droop. Where was the black belt? They found a black belt after translating the slab with Dr. Oon.
So JLo on these zombies, is that a trap chest or a trap tile?
Well, we're about to find out. That's
a tile.
That is the tile for Waterfall.
That's huge, but not something that I'd want to take a full party grind on.
I'd feel a lot better about that grind if JLo had the second Fire 3 hammer.
Yeah, it would be a really good 2-man grind with the 2 Fire 3 hammers.
A-Rub -3. Womp womp robot.
Robot not paying off. So Damu's already taken that red mage down and is on the solo black belt grind.
I think Phoenix 29 is looks to be leaving. That's interesting. I'm actually surprised. It looked like it was more of a I'm just going to passively let the red mage die and, you know, pick up some levels on the way. Maybe have the extra survivability for the shortened Topher. But moving on now to the Fire Fiend replacement. Is that a red mage back there?
That
like
sure was. That definitely was. And speaking of that, Villic with the solo grind, we're against the Black Knight. We're going to see if Black Knight can beat Black Belt, but no, Black Knight can't.
I mean, It made a valiant effort of first turn slow.
It tried.
I mean, that is the one weapon that a black belt does not want to see you use against it.
You know, at a level where you still worry about your MDEF. We're not quite at that point where we're immune to spells, but...
Well,
yeah, I
don't
think
forget, the
Atlantic.
black belt does have, if I'm not mistaken, black belt does have plus 20 magic defense, so basically the extra 5 levels of magic defense. So 34 actually was almost a 42 black belt.
So, from the world of our off-stream racers, we have a finisher already, Spellzap, first place with a time of 31 minutes and 52 seconds. GG. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's going to be a big yikes for me, dog. That to me says, not only did you find that grind tile very early, but that is some impeccable routing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really making some statistically significant decisions, having them pay off, and when they don't, knowing when to reset or to bounce back. Yeah, that is just an insanely fast time on this flag set, even with the black belt in range of everybody relatively early.
Womp womp, tail in the shop.
Yeah, definitely not worried about that at this point, I feel like.
Dangwoo has fully set up shop on this dragon to get to level 40 on the black belt.
I feel like we saw Dangwoo get the chime. I think that was from the Lefanians, so we should know where all of our key items are at this point.
No, Cube was from the Lefanians. We're missing the chime still. That's the one thing that's MIA, and kind of you start to think with Spellzap's finish the way it was, you look at the fact that, Cube was behind the slab, which was behind, which was an earth which you could full clear. You've got low-level nukes and fades. Maybe just swing for the fences that, hey, I've got the spells to take down whatever replace Lich. And maybe the same thing with carrying, knowing if you found the hint that's like, hey, the key's sitting in Sea Shrine, you just you skip all the optional dungeons and just start doing those orb dungeons that you have to do. Maybe just everything was on the way, and he found that grind.
$15 hits on that Lich replacement. No more. So 2 orbs lit by 3 of our on-stream runners. The second one, it looks like... is JLo on his second orb or first?
I believe this... Yeah, I'm going to say it's his first going off of his key items as well.
Phoenix headed down for a third orb right now. Dangwoo probably going to stop into to pick up the key from Mermaids, since I think we had a hint for that, right? Off-stream check-in yet again. Dead Pulse has finished second place with an official time of 34 minutes 38 seconds. So that, I believe, establishes bucket 2.
That does, which allows runners an additional 2 minutes to place in for second place points.
That is a rapidly closing window.
JLo getting the good news that he has a win condition. And that win condition's name is Tim.
Ooh, this behemoth is doing cracking things and has fast. Hit the red mage, It's still up. This could get... Ow. The behemoth gave us his best impression of a black belt.
Mmm.
See if Dingwu has any better luck here. We're expecting a wall to come out. Oh, Rack comes out instead.
You're probably actually happy to see that. Or I guess Dangwoo doesn't even know what this behemoth swings for. And did not find out.
Well, that is our first 3-orb player on the restream here. Now Dangwoo's gonna go get that key.
Behemoth attempt number 2. Let's see what happens. Leading with that crack. That is very rude. Black belt survives the hit this time.
I mean, there's still a bit of ow my face.
Oh, why?
Ugh.
This behemoth does not care.
That is unfortunate.
I would say for dive 3, that seems inevitable at this point. Revive that black mage. Oh, we get the nuke to take it out, and the red mage continues the levels.
That black mage was actually up at the beginning of the fight. The crack took it out.
Oh, okay.
So the first turn looked like fast temper, but the fast never went off.
Gotcha.
So at this point, we're just hunting for a chime. We're hoping it's behind the key lock at Corneria. Oh, and Dingwu
Certainly was.
Right. It was.
Yes, it was. So you can kind of paint that picture of how these, a couple of these runners finished as fast as they did. Just like everything you just did orb dungeons, you could literally skip every single optional dungeon in this game.
And that looks like quite the grind tile if you hadn't found one.
Right? Oh man, that looked delicious.
I have to imagine that. No, because you're not finding that grind tile unless you're doing the Sea Shrine, right? Because you're not getting into Mirage. So odds are you're not going to Sea Shrine and bouncing yourself out. And Behemoth, we saw, was quite a roadblock.
I think Phoenix could potentially take it. Because Phoenix, I don't think, has finished out the grind for the black belt yet. And our first robot chicken. Kind of pillow hands. 295 hit against the black belt there. I'm not concerned about that Warmech.
No, definitely not. But, with how the behemoth hit, something has to have pillow hands, right?
Right?
And then we've got a Gilgamesh for Tiamat.
I'm kind of sad that it doesn't use the Kaizoku as its sprite. Because I don't see a whole lot of swords coming out of that slime. Dengwu is now officially in go mode, has all the orbs lit, ready to go. Warmack has one of the nukes. Turns out. This is information that that Velik is unhappy to learn about.
Dengu not wasting any time. First on-stream runner at 41.55 to get into Topher. And just going straight down, ignoring the Warmack. Doesn't need a Masamune. Says, let's just finish this game.
Off stream, we do have a third place finisher, Demon Frog, with an official time of 41 minutes, 32 seconds, starting out that third bucket for points.
Was that a first turn 3300 hit on Dengu?
I don't
That was
know.
nasty. This Topher is the speed bumpiest Topher ever.
Dark Moon coming in with the knowledge bomb here that the Randomizer changes the sprite for the Alt Fiends, which I had no idea.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen a set of fiends to where the first versions of them are actually scarier than the second versions, because it kind of blinked and the second versions were gone. These first versions in the War Mech, you know, they aren't taking any prisoners.
Safety strat wall cast coming out first instead of fast. I'm actually surprised. Baby Cure 3 coming out because Cure 4 was just not something that Chaos felt like investing in. And terminated. GG Dengwu, our first on-stream runner, official time 43 minutes 42 seconds it looks like. So while we have a second here, Shimbabi as the grand architect of the scoring system for the Fall League, do you want a quick rundown what these buckets mean?
Sure. So to avoid first place from just tearing away from the pack and not giving anybody a chance over the course of the tournament to really feel like they were able to invest themselves and stage a comeback, tried to group people of similar finishing times to the same point buckets or bins. And so Spellzap finishing with the 31.52 in first place meant that people had until 32.52 or 1 minute later to get the same amount of points that Spellzap would have earned. Dead Pulse unfortunately finished more than 1 minute past him, so he starts another bin, which now gives runners 2 minutes to meet the threshold to get the same amount of points as our second bin leader. Demon Frog was not fortunate enough to do that, so Demon Frog sets the third bin, and now runners have 4 minutes. So at 41.32, Demon Frog finishes. As long as people finish before 45.32, they will get third place finishing points. So Dengwu does fit into bin 3 here, getting, I believe, 7 points for his team. And then runners will have until 47.42 before the next bin starts.
So also,
excuse me, 45.32.
Also finishing in that bucket, as we had 2 additional finishers in the 44-minute range, Chadbert, official time 44 and 1 second. Demon RHK, 44 minutes and 15 seconds.
Again, we're in blink and you miss it mode for those Fiend refights. Crack coming out, not hitting anybody, thankfully. Wow, 2k HP and already down. So on to Chaos we go.
Oh, that's cute. Chaos has Cure 3.
He really wanted to skimp on his white magic.
Can't even punch down a red mage and already down. Congratulations, Velik, with a 47... What do we have here officially? 47-14 on race time.
We did also have Ganon's Gone Wild finishing just before that at 47 minutes and 4 seconds. That starts our bucket 4 time.
Right, so Velik definitely falling in that window, and runners will have 8 minutes from that 47.04 to finish in bucket 4. So joining us now in the booth is our second on-stream runner, Velik. Good game.
Hey, thank you very much.
And GG Velik, how did you feel about the seed?
You know, I think I did all right. I'm not too happy with the seed in particular. I don't think I could have. I don't think I saw much that I could have done a lot better at. I mean, certainly I wiped at more mech, which was a time waste for sure. But you know, as far as like my routing, maybe it wasn't quite optimized, but I didn't find a good grind spot, at least as far as I could tell. And I think I'm happy that I did what I could with what I have. I feel like so. I'm at least satisfied in that regard.
Rock on. In terms of, you know, flow of the seed, were there any particular sticking points besides that Warmech that you felt?
I wouldn't say there were any particular sticking points. I mean, like I said, I couldn't find a good grind, and you know, I'm assuming some others found some better ones given the time discrepancies on where people ended in this race. Other than that, though, I think the route was pretty normal. If you were checking your it givers, I think the only thing that could have thrown people for a loop was the key being in mermaids. That was really the only item that I could have had trouble with, but I think was all right. And even with my routing, like I found stuff when I found it, and I was able to skip ordeals, so that was helpful, for example.
Yeah, I think the major discrepancies were, and I forget if that was Saracen or Link-a-Lot mentioning it earlier. If you just go to the orb dungeons here, you pretty much won in 30 minutes because everything that you needed to finish was progression locked behind the orb dungeons.
Yeah, I did, because it was, I think, Oxyale was in Volcano, right? For example, and the key obviously being in C then, so... And the key leading to the chime in Corneria locked. So, yeah, I can certainly see how that could have sped things up, and, you know, that's maybe something of a mistake that I made in being a newer player in general, just because checking those places first is so much higher value because there's something else that you could do there, right? And so it just cuts time off of your run from being able to not have to backtrack, and to kill two birds with one stone, as it goes.
Try to segue into killing birds, but I think Chaos could not be further from a bird. But we have Phoenix taking on Chaos now. This whole Topher, relative to other Tophers that you've run, how did you feel about it? I believe Velik's mic actually just cut out, as he just informed me on a private message. But while that happened, Phoenix 29 finishing Chaos with an official race time of 51:04. So we will invite Phoenix to join us in the room as well.
Hey, sorry about that. I think I'm back now, but Phoenix is here, so.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, good game, Phoenix.
Thanks.
And GG Phoenix, how did you feel about the seed?
It was a pretty quick seed. I kind of laughed a bit when I saw his spells at flash at like 32 minutes, and then Dead Pulse about 2 minutes later. So I figured Topher was definitely not going to be that hard if they were finishing that fast.
And one of the things that is, notable is that this is the first of the seeds that has had a black belt in it. How'd you feel about finding that?
It was good, but I never really found a good grind. I'm curious if some of the faster players found a better one. I think I just used the zombie dragons in Volcano.
I think we might have found one of those better grinds potentially. Two chimeras at 3100 for a full party, and they died to they have less than 280 health. That might very well have been a grind that some of the faster runners had taken.
Yeah, I can see that. By the time I had gotten to Shrine, I wasn't looking for another grind. I hit 32, I think, on the black belt, and I knew Warmech would get me up near 40, so I wasn't worried about it.
Demon asking about other people's grinds. I know Dengu also did the zombie Ds. I did not see what our other off-stream folks did. T-Tron also with the zombie Ds.
I took a terrible grind, so I can't really weigh in on that.
I was questioning it early, but I was watching it, how quickly you were doing it relative to the other runners. It didn't set you back as much, I think, as you thought it did. There certainly were better opportunities, but it worked out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're not finding a good grind spot, you sort of have to reassess and be like, how much time am I going to waste to run and check more grind spots to try and find a good one, as opposed to if I just sit here and just bang this grind out right now with what I have in front of me. And that's sort of the decision that I made and decided to stay with the tile I did. For information, it's not a great tile. It was the Mage and Perilous tile in Volcano. And it ended up being pretty fast because the Fire 3 hammer that you're given at the beginning, it ended up wiping everything but the Mage, and sometimes the Mage, because everything was super low hit points. And so it took 2 rounds for about 6,500 XP is what I think I was getting per time with a single black belt. So it was certainly not the best because I had to cast and then punch, and only got 6,500 out of it, where, these other grinds you probably get even closer to like 8 to 10 grand a round or a fight. But hey, it worked to some extent. Off meta for sure, but I'll take it.
Well, as Dead Pulse would have us believe, we double down and sometimes triple down on bad decisions.
Pocket full of dreams.
Maybe that's where I'm just too afraid. I just don't triple down on my bad decisions.
Alright, so waiting here to see if Behemoth does Behemoth things. So far been kind. After the wall, we know that crack or big punches are both opportunities.
Yeah, that Behemoth first fight was unkind. A Cure 2, what is this? Behemoth with a Cure 2?
I got punted out of Shrine after on Behemoth 1. I think it was just 3 straight punches. Done.
Yes, it was quite unkind.
I think I saw my Chaos use Cure 3 at one point. I got kind of a chuckle out of that.
I basically got a chuckle every time I saw any of the on-stream runners see the Cure 3.
Yeah.
I think it came up for everybody so far.
I saw the CUR and kind of freaked out for a moment, thinking this might be harder than it seemed, and then it was a 3, so...
I was just glad the Cure 4 from Warmech came out on the first turn.
Yeah, I actually ended up wiping on my first attempt on Warmack because he cured forward, and I couldn't punch him back down before he got me.
Yeah, I think I was turnovering. Otherwise, I was going to lose on him. Same thing with Gilgamesh right after, because I took the chance and went in with the solo black belt and barely scraped through that one.
Yeah, I think at that point you kind of have to. I don't think you're gonna back out of the Bridge Destiny with no magic.
Somebody did it. Was it last night or the first night? Somebody did that.
I have to say props to them. I would never consider doing that. I'd always take the riskier option, personally.
I thought about it since I got the solo XP on my black belt for the Warm. I could put him up to about 40, and I just went with it.
So, quick update from our off-stream runners. We had Budgemano finishing in 10th place at 55 minutes 51 seconds. So GG's Budgemano. I see you already in chat here. JLo has picked up the chime from the Canary Locked. Also from our off-stream folks, Tetron, I always struggle with how to pronounce your name, but has finished in 11th with 57.55 GG's.
So that 57.55 actually puts him in bin 5, the start of bin 5, so runners will have 16 minutes to finish in bin 5, and then the remaining runners will finish in bin 6 with 4 points. So we have JLo doing a lot of checks here, and I'm curious what he's looking for specifically, because chest checks tend to favor fighter comps, right? And we already have our black belt here. On the plus side, I'm hoping he finds this Gurnaga tile and realizes this is the opportunity to kill off my party, because he's the only runner who came on with the party not quite already leveled to just walk through Mirage.
Yeah, and with how Warmack was punching and nuking, I would not want to bring that full party up to fight Warmack in its current state. Classic Gamer pointing out, could be looking for ribbons or something. That's it's a good point. Now, the concerns I would have on that, first off, is your win condition shouldn't really need it. But the downside is we're looking at a full 4-man on JLo's side, so the ribbons are worth it for the other 3.
We do have level 4 wall, and he is taking 2 white casters that are able to learn it.
Right. I mean, this could be as much a habit thing as anything else, right? Like, if you're used to doing more fighter comps, then I could see it. I have tended to take a lot more of the monster in a box because of the possibility of the Warmack fight or, early experience boosts. So if looking for decent-ish box fights, I guess, but that doesn't explain the rest of the checks.
I was not a big fan. I believe it was Spring Tournament that this was a very controversial add to the pool of flags, the trapped chests. I was never a big fan of filling up the inventory to see what's behind it, but if we're doing a Warmack hunt specifically, to see that it says Masamune and then say, you know what, alright, I'll drop the weapon, let's take on a Warmack here, that makes sense to me.
So, My immediate concern. Oh wow,
That is
That was a
squishy.
paper.
Take that Gurnaga. Come on. Take that to 99.
the problem with the Gurnaga is it's gonna punch for 1, even if you like remove the armor from your party. So getting the rest of them down. Hey, look, an incentive katana -2. I don't even. We had a thief for like 30 seconds. That's right. We had it because Lich gave us, or our Lich replacement gave us a thief, and then we immediately translated a slab for a black belt.
I usually provide. Let's see if the 6-pack actually provides with something. It's very difficult when the treasure rarity is set to low or Melmond. I don't remember which specifically this was. I just know that it wasn't great.
Well, the main thing that I recall is that Monster in a Box and Behind Spike Tiles were the good items.
Right, but I believe Monster in a Box only trapped 40 of them, but does that cover the entire pool?
That's a good question. Given that we saw 2 Monster in a Box rune swords in Sky, I have to guess. Okay, JLo. I want to believe.
Here's what I'll say. If JLo makes it through this war mech, there is a good chance that he becomes a contender for the low-level bonus for this week. That is going to be a huge if, though.
Yeah, certainly if you can get through the war mech with this party, you can get through Topher, right?
You know, he might need to resort to X for Brack strats on this, which isn't ideal, but it works. I've done it a number of times. It's not fun, but it's going to be more fun than trying to punch through 3,000 plus HP with nukes.
I feel called out for my Tuesday performance.
I did not mean to call you out. I'm sorry, sir.
It's okay. In practice, I had so many war mechs fall to first turn Brack, and definitely had 200 Brack casts into war mechs on Tuesday, and I don't think I landed a single.
Yeah, without the X for, what is it, the 3 and 256 just base?
Yeah, so I would have expected 2 of them by then.
Actually, I believe... Well, I'm not going to get into the math on which. That's not something we do, right?
Yeah, let's pull out the actuarial tables here and oh no, JLo's running from the 2 Gurnaga pack to try to iterate on this war mech. I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, I do know how I feel about that.
Well, on the plus side, we aren't checking all the chests again.
Budgemano has precisely picked it up. If you're familiar with the Screaming Cowboy of, was it Big Enough? By Kieran J. Callahan? Something like that? There's definitely a lot of but much louder in a way that is not friendly to our broadcast partner.
Man, this war mech has it out for that white mage. Unfortunately, wall is not going to be sufficient to block from nuke, so it's going to be a race against time once Warmack leads with that Cure 4.
That's why I like all the tempers going up before you see that. 'Cause you're just going to start doing more damage every round, and if that Cure 4 comes up, you're already online, so hopefully you can kind of beat the nuke.
I saw Cure 4 and then I realized it was the White Mage casting it on himself.
Yeah, this is a little ambitious to stop the temper cast. I think I just dump everything into Tim right now and just take the L and walk out if I have to save after the Warmack. It's worth the extra minute and a half to not turn this into an extra 15.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. Off-stream update. Nightmare Phoenix has finished in 12th place with a time of 1:07 and 4 seconds. GG's in chat for our 12th place finisher in this race.
It's huge to finish that with a 2-man. Do we have life on that Whitecaster? We do not.
No,
Great exit, though. That was exactly what you need to do. Save the game.
Go pick up your dead mages, come back, kill the fiend behind. That's
No.
I think you meant.
Don't pick up the mages. Go back to that Gurnaga tile. Hope that the White Mage will fall over and just punch your way to victory.
Or res everybody. And then let's
Oh.
take out this fiend.
Oh. I shouldn't be that disappointed because, specifically, like we said, once you've taken out the Warmack, you've effectively beaten the seed. Also, shoutouts to the jerk with the Mohawk.
Why does Mohawk Punk have a second set of dialogue? Is that based on the pirates?
Yep.
Yes.
That is unfortunate. We need NPC Guillotine to work on Mohawk High because he is the worst.
I have found that the dude on the bridge on the way in is actually worse for me because he is like the ultimate linebacker. He sees whatever way I'm going to try to juke and always gets in the way. I feel like I'm getting tackled every time I walk into Provoca.
You said guy on the bridge, my mind instantly went to the bridges in Lefane because the amount of times I've been trapped behind that without warp or exit it blows my mind.
Look, I hear what you guys are saying, but can we just give a quick shout out to the bats in the Temple of Fiends getting you stuck there at an entrance floor shuffle where you can't do anything but hit?
Oh!
Shout out to the bats, you heard it here.
I'm sure we'll see that in week 4 with our entrance and floor shuffle shard hunt, which I'm actually super looking forward to.
I think I cursed myself by calling them out.
Alright, Gilgamesh, let's see what you got. Or let's not. Let's just fast up this black belt and punch it down. I think most of the on-stream runners at this point were significantly ahead in levels that we didn't really get to see too much of what all of these fiends had to offer. So we're kind of joking about how paper-thin Topher is, but it is paper-thin because everybody did take it to mid to high 30s or low 40s before jumping in. Full party strats, it almost feels like trying to play this as a fighter comp, except your fighter didn't need to equip a weapon. And I unfortunately feel that resource management might come into play, even in a short Topher.
That is a fair point. Seeing JLo, I think with 12 hits fasted, that's a concern. I would be much more comfortable with the greater than 32 hit point the break point there. So you have 8 hit space, 16 when fasted.
JLo doing a world tour, showing us the Dwarf Cave, Temple of Fiends, getting a little rest at Corneria. Yeah, Darkmoon pointing out in chat that everything being said, JLo is doing well as a new player, and that really can't be overstated. This is still a very good time for a free enterprise seed. What we're seeing here is probably a little discomfort with the party comp, where he is in levels, like what he actually has access to. I know personally, early on, I would try to compensate for everything with gear and or levels. And so that really does explain the checks, right? When you're not sure how this party really applies its win condition best, you look for the gear to compensate it. But unfortunately, this party doesn't scale off of gear either, even if you were to find it.
Yeah, 100% agree on that. And the call out of just how well JLo is doing with this as a newer player. Free Enterprise is a very different mindset from a lot of the other flag sets that people are, I would say, more used to. So this could be an unpleasant surprise.
Oh boy, we're doing it again.
It's okay.
Keeping tracking in mind, keeping all of the old. I think I said it the other night. This flag set really demands that whatever you're doing something, you kind of want to be 5 minutes ahead of where you are. Like, you need to know where you're going to be before you even get to the next place. And as a newer runner, it's kind of hard to keep track of all of that and make sure that you're making these micro decisions at the same time.
Tetra, he went for the Topher box.
So yes, I would say he
chasing-
is stuck on a time loop.
Yeah. So Masamek is totally fine if the exit or warp is still castable at the end of the fight.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
I mean, as a person who really wished he had exit or warp on the Tuesday night seed, as I fought Warmac, I want to say 15 of my 30 plus Topher dives before I forfeit? Yes. Not so hot.
So I'm curious if JLo is taking this intentionally, saying, you know what, I don't know where a good grind was. That was worth the experience. Let me just try this. Ooh, that red D box, also very good.
Quite tasty. So I'm going to just toss this out here. Darkmoon saying he really needs to haste temper, and the way that it got typed turned it into a link. And I really feel like we need to get that website. I don't know what for. All right, we're doing it.
See, I'm a fan of exiting out as soon as you use the loot, just to save.
We got to reset as JLo realizes he didn't heal up the white mage or anybody else.
We're going right this time.
This is a material difference in morale. Personal morale, not enemy morale. I am 100% a go left on the short Topher?
I'm 100% go left on any Topher.
Fair.
This was a topic of contention with my co-op partner when I was watching his streams. I don't know that I can talk to him anymore, honestly. He goes right.
Alright, Sky Maze, go.
Ooh. It really depends. If I forget which way I'm holding, I will sometimes find myself going left, but up and to the right is... I want to say that's how Nintendo Power laid it out, which would probably be why I internalized it like that. I think it had one in the lower left corner and one in the upper right corner.
Wow. I mean, dang shoot, we're old. I am
That's
also
one
an
of my
up
favorite
and
reading
right.
materials.
I'm also an up and right.
Left, then up. Get out of here. If you go left, you have to go down, Phoenix.
What? No.
Sometimes I go up 6, left 1, and then I go right 3.
Get that real maze experience. I say the real maze experience because the Sky Maze flag, I've had put the stairs just slightly off screen from the teleporter up, rather, slightly off screen from the entry, more than a few times.
I didn't see what this TF refight had, because I believe it had under 2,000 health, so almost everyone on stream immediately punched through. We're gonna find out it has the 600-point nuclear.
When did they put Empower Meta Magic into this game? That's...
I don't know, I'm sure the devs are cooking it up behind the scenes.
We're gonna make this more and more like 3rd edition D&D.
Well, now you have completely ousted me as the old.
Well, it had enough to take out the red mage and the white mage. That's what I got out of that.
Warp out, save your levels.
Oh, no, no!
No, that was a joke. Zap. That was a joke. Don't do it. Don't do it! No, that was a joke! That was a completely viable finish. So, that's one of those things that you learn with experience also, right? Like when you get to that point, you have your fast, you have your temper. I know the black belt is a little bit under-leveled, but you still do a recon mission on Chaos at that point, even if you feel like it's going to fail. Yeah, and especially with a ruse item, right? So minor adjustments that we could be making here is put the black belt into slot 3, make sure that it has a ruse item, make sure that the black mage is fasting and tempering right away, and hope that it survives through at least one turn of chaos, so it gets at least one of those casts off. But yeah, Tim should be able to go into hold A and pray mode.
I know something I would be looking at doing as well, potentially, if you're trying to get through this with the 4-man party, is at least switching your white mage for the black mage. That way the white mage isn't as potential of a target of a big melee swing.
Joom, if you did mute yourself, it's local to your microphone and not to the Discord. That's what I'll say there.
That I'm aware of. I just didn't know if I went through the whole advice section just talking to myself, or if that made it out there. Trying to keep the dishwasher sounds in the background to a minimum. But in any case, at least at this point, J-Lo knows what these bosses have, has kind of a game plan in mind. I think we're going to see some reasonable success here.
It is the lowest per week. So, lowest level of your highest level character in the week gets compared against all of the racers who have completed, and that is where we get the bonus points coming in there. Do have a couple bonus point opportunities for all of the teams. For example, participating in comms, tracking, restreaming, being part of the race crew. That is my 1 point this week.
And well earned, Saracen. Well earned.
I do what I can. This is my contribution. Phoenix, if there is a bonus for best pun, I think I won it last night. When I asked our crew, and I got Deadpool's in on this. He felt pretty mad that he didn't think of it first, but there was a Saria grind, and I asked if there were any skills or spells that would make you Saria that you fought them.
All right, good night, everybody. I believe the actual appropriate response is, we'll be here all week. Stay and try the veal.
I mean, I'll
All
be
right,
here
you know-
next week someday.
Now we see chaos, finally. All 4 party members are up. That is impressive.
That Cure 3 out the gate before the punches land. So that is actually a thing I'm concerned about with this fight, is we have not seen much out of Chaos because everybody else punched him twice for 2 grand and then it was gone. I don't know what this Chaos is bringing
longer,
out.
honestly. If we can get more tempers off. I mean, 11 hit 600. This was not a very absorbent chaos.
That's fair.
Yeah, 1700. Jeez. That's crazy high for such a low level.
Lit 3 does Lit 3 things. We have a bunch of wall casts up. This Chaos is not long for this world.
Yeah, barring some kind of crazy spell like a nuke or nuclear that we just haven't seen yet.
You know, I was kind of hoping for a 4-person Bane there. There we
Terminated.
go. Official race time GG time of 126.14. J-Lo earning that 4 points for his team, which is nothing to scoff at. 4 points keeps you in this running. So GG on the finish. Good game to all of our on-stream runners for finishing. We'll see if J-Lo wants to come into the booth.
And from our off stream, our final runner, Dr. Rosalia, has decided to forfeit the race. They indicated that there was a little bit more adversity than desired. It wasn't really looking at getting better. So definitely understand the decision there. Again, I forfeit earlier this week. I felt the same way in that seat. But Gigi, we'll look forward to your races coming up in the next couple weeks.
So, waiting on a response from JLo here, but
JLo just responded in chat. Real life stuff, not able to interview. GG's, JLo. It was good calling your run, and yeah, great work.
good game. So on that note, perhaps we should move to final thoughts. How about we start with our second on-stream runner, our first one that entered the booth with us, Velik.
Just want to say thank you to everyone who volunteered to help out, trackers and you guys on comms. Really appreciate all the help, of course. Thank you to RPG Limit Break as well for hosting us, and GG to all the runners. It was a fun night. It was a good seed. I had a good time with it, and I hope everyone else did too.
GG's, Velik. It looks like Phoenix has also jumped for some baby duty, so GG Phoenix. Look forward to chat in the Gersneck server in a near time. So final thoughts from me in the comms here, to echo what Velik has already said. Thank you to everybody here in the booth, our restreamer Darkmoon, our trackers Wildhead and Cyrenus. Thank you so much for joining us all in the booth here, Shimbabi and Sir Linkalot. Always great to catch up with you guys here. Thank you to RPG Limit Break for being a restream partner and our host for the evening. We can't really have a show without a stage. And GG again to all of the runners tonight. This was a fantastic race.
I'm just going to piggyback off that. Good game to all the runners. This is a great seed. I hope that everybody who still has yet to caught something new out of this one, because every seed this week has given us something to think about, and so I'm looking forward to tomorrow's race at 2 p.m. I believe. I didn't catch which channel that's on. If somebody can throw that out real quick. But thank you to my co-com Saracen and Sir Linkalot, and Wildham for tracking, and Darkmoon for restreaming. I believe Cyrenus also was doing some tracking earlier. And good games to all of our runners on stream and off. And I look forward to continuing through this fall league with all of you.
Quick reference, tomorrow's stream is going to be on the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel. So, yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/Final Fantasy Randomizer.
I guess I'll close this out. So GG to all the runners. Thanks for doing the comms with me. It's been a blast. Nice, it was a nice quick seed. We finally got to see a black belt for once after 2 seeds, there being no black belt. So it was interesting for everybody, I'm sure, to actually see the black belt in action on these seeds rather than having to watch other strats. But it's been a blast, and I guess I'll let our restreamer kind of take us out like he likes to.
Well, I mean, if you guys insist, then thank you guys for watching this presentation of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Fall League 2021, Game 3 of Week 1, free Enterprise flags. If you like what you saw, want to perhaps become a part of the community and maybe learn what the game is all about, come to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. We have links to the Discord as well as the development Discord, plus the game itself you can find right there. Resources to learn all about it. We've got playlists of VODs to train you and how the game is played. We can make you a player immediately if you're so interested. From all of us here in the booth and from the cross community, thank you for watching. Thanks to RPG Limit Break for hosting. As they said, we have another presentation tomorrow at 2 p.m. over on the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel. Hope to see you guys there as well. And thank you very much. We will see you guys again.